Hi, I'm Nancy of Nancy B Designs and welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you today how to make these Easter eggs, this cute little display in an egg carton, and you only need a few products that you probably already have. It's nothing crazy that you have to spend a lot of money on. I made this one look a little French country, a little shabby chic, but I'll show you how you can do some other designs as well if that's not really your thing. So what we start with is a styrofoam egg, but you could use the plastic ones as well. I think with the plastic you would just want to give it a little bit of texture first so the paper bag has something to stick to it. So I would use a primer or a white gesso, and that would help give it some grit to Mod Podge onto. So I'm going to be using a styrofoam egg. I like to use a little bit of a thicker product to as the glue. Sometimes I use Wise Owl varnish, but for this, because it's a heavier paper, I like to use Collage Podge. Mod Podge is fine. This is a little bit thinner than Mod Podge, which is nice. And you just need a brush, paper bag, some paint. What we're going to do is take a lunch bag and just tear it into strips. Just open your bag and start tearing it into long, thin strips. Then after that, you can tear them into shorter ones because you're not going to want long ones for the whole project. You need some thin ones that are short and only a couple that are long. That's a little too thick. So I've already got some here started. Just going to take my Mod Podge, Collage Podge, and put some on the egg and spread it around. The first strip I like to do is right around the center because you can use a nice long one there. And the trick is to just put some of the glue first, and then as soon as you're done placing it, put a little more on top. So you want to try to keep it flat. You're not going to want gaps in there, so just push it down as you go. And that one did fine, so we're going to just glue it down and keep going. And you're going to go all the way around the egg, and you're just going to cover all of the white part. You don't want to leave any white part showing. And they can overlap. You can go up and around the egg. You can go all different directions, it doesn't matter. So we'll go up and over, and you're just going to want to keep doing this until you have your entire egg covered. The problem with using strips that are too thick is that you will get gaps in there. So if I show you, if I do this, that one worked okay, but if you do it like this, where it starts getting smaller, you end up with gaps like that, and that's what you don't want. All right, I'm going to keep doing this egg, and then I'll be back after it's dry. If when it's dry you see that there are a few gaps or you missed a few places, just fix it up, let it dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. After your egg is dry, the only thing left to do is to paint and decorate. I use this off-white paint, and you're going to do a dry brush, which means you're just going to put a little bit of paint on your brush and wipe off the excess. You're going to go in every direction. And just keep going over it until you're happy with how it looks. You want to make sure you're using less paint than you think you would, because if you blob on too much, you can't get it off. So just wipe it on a paper towel or plate and just keep going around your egg. You can also let it dry and do a second coat. That way it'll pop a little bit more. This is a slightly off-white color. I have used, I'll show you, I tried it with some colored wax. You could use a colored paint, you could do whatever your theme is, pastels or bright colors. So here I just tried a little bit of green paint. I did a little bit of this patina blue matte wax from Finnabair. And once they're all dry, you can decorate. So some of the things I've done was get some lace, ribbon, twine, and you can wrap it around your eggs and then use the glue gun to hold it there. And then you could add even more if you'd like. I found these little pretty bows with pearls. I also made a couple of these from molds using clay, and that wouldn't go with the lace really, but what you could do is wrap your twine around about 4 times or so. It gives a good thickness. Put it close together, and again, use your glue gun. I would definitely do a couple more turns around. And then you could try these little molds. I painted this in this patina blue wax and then put copper on top, or this is black with gold wax. So there's anything, whatever you can think of, you can do with these. And then the last thing is I take an egg carton, and this is just the Spanish moss, and lay it inside. And you can also, I would put a little bit of paint on here to just sort of match. Again, if you're using a colored paint, you could use a color. So just do a dry brush all over this, and then you can place your eggs in there for display. And here, this is a little wooden tag. I think I found this at Joann's. You could decoupage that and put it right here in the center. All egg cartons look different. Some are solid, so then you could decoupage a whole picture. So it just depends on what your carton looks like. Or you could just rip this part off and just use this, take this part off as well, and just use this for display. And place your eggs inside. So that's about it. If you decide to make this project, I'd love to see the pictures. Put them down below. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. And if you could subscribe and hit the bell, and then you'll get notified when I make my next video. So thanks for watching.